Hey, warriors, welcome back to another episode of the Cleanse, Heal, Ignite podcast. I don't know why I'm a square, Paula. Maybe you could fix that. This is Wednesday, April 1st. Some call it April Fools. There's a whole topic that we won't even get into about what that really means. But anyway, I am going to talk to you guys today about something that is really important. In fact, it's probably the most important. It is how to protect yourself from EMFs. And a lot of people think, I don't have to do much. And they keep wearing their AirPods and their Apple Watches and sleeping with their phones on and close to 5G towers. And you guys don't realize how much this topic is impacting you. So this is why we're going to be bringing on two guest experts today to talk about this. Before we get into the episode, I'm Dr. Diane Kazer, Chief Founder and Doctor of Traditional Naturopathy and Board Certified. And I love to talk about anything that is going to help protect you guys from what is happening in your environment. And we have been talking in what we call the root cause reset the past 8 weeks. Today is our last week. We've helped 18 patients understand the toxins that are plaguing them, that are causing what I like to call the AINs, the broken brain, weight gain, body pain, energy drain, and the symptom train. So we start with toxins. This is the first question that everybody should be asking, is not how do I feel better, is why am I sick in the first place? So there's a lot of interferences today. Toxins are a big one. I call it shit, stress, hormone imbalances, infections, and toxicity. Those are the main reasons why you feel like shit, is because of those four things. And it's not because I just like to swear, although I love to swear. It is more so to help you guys remember the mnemonics about these things. So everybody wants to take a pill. Everybody wants the fast button, the easy button. It doesn't work like that. The easy button is going to still keep landing you right where you began with the same question. Why am I so sick? In fact, oftentimes it'll bring you back to a worse spot, because when the root cause festers and isn't addressed, and you're not bringing in the building factors like what we love to talk about, which is like peptides and herbal remedies to get rid of parasites and cleansing with binders and things like that, then your body has actually had time to not address the root cause. Your immune system gets destroyed, exhausted, imbalanced, and your hormones are all over the place, and your sleep is too, and your mood is, and you just don't feel like you. So get it done the first time the right way, because what these 18 members have been learning about on their toxicity report is not something you're ever going to find with an MD. This is why we start with toxins first. We look at that as the reason why you have infections, the reasons why parasites continue to take residence in your house without paying rent. So we've got to address all of these things. And that's what we do here in the ministry and what we talk about on Warrior Wednesdays. For Doc Talk with me and the Cleanse, Heal, Ignite I just bit my tongue. Cleanse, Heal, Ignite podcast. So I want to make a couple announcements before we get started. First of all, the peptide shutdown continues. Oh, sorry. Paula is flying a link below. If you guys are listening to this, if you're not watching it, dianekazer.com/patient. If you so choose to take the deep dive and finally confront the reasons why you're sick and finally start to feel better. We take a deep root dive with our patients so you guys don't feel so alone. And we tell you the exact order to heal, which exact peptides make the most sense in our personal opinion. Again, we always have to say, this is not medical advice for the powers that ought not be, the cyber organizations that tell us that we shouldn't have the power that they should. Thank you, Paula, for flying the super stale disclaimer below. Let's just laugh about it all, right? This is just, you being sick is a laughing matter, and chemo, radiation, and prescription medications are the only thing that will work. So talk to your doctor. Fake smile. Anyway, what I was saying is the peptide shutdown continues. Bobby Kennedy was just discovered on a podcast recently saying that talking about peptides the way that we are here is illegal. So again, that's why I have to double down on the medical disclaimer that this is for information and educational purposes only, because you guys are too stupid to figure it out on your own. That's what they want you to believe. Not true, but here we are having to say it. 100 years ago, they kicked out doctors like myself from practicing this way, and they're doing it all over again. So you guys, I say this to a bit cheeky, but also very frustrated, because I hate seeing you all sick, and I want you to have at least the best answers as fast as possible, because it is said that within the next, who knows how long, but end of this year, Bobby Kennedy and Donald Trump are doing the opposite of what they claimed when they earned everybody's vote by lying as a politician really is, because the ticks are parasites, and politic is exactly what they are. They're liars. And then they get to the point where they earn your vote, and then they do the opposite. So I'm just calling a spade here. I'm not negative. I'm just real. So I hope you guys can hear that. You guys are the real governance. This is how you take control of your body, your energy, your vitality, your immunity, your economy, everything. You know, grow your own food, start to get as much as you can decentralized as possible. Take advantage of some of the recommendations we're going to talk about today. And also, we have our VIP group afterwards where you guys can ask anything, especially in the topic that we have today. Carmen and Harold, who are our special guests that are going to come on, they will be able to, you will be able to ask them anything. And they got some really cool information to get to. The last thing I'll say is that we also have until April 7th, we have special enrollment for our new Elite VIP, which is the only place that you're going to get me to ask Dr. Kazer anything. Oh, sorry. The final special is today. We actually launch on April 7th, which is next Tuesday. This is a place where you guys, a new Elite VIP, where you can purchase membership and you can get access to every single course that I have made over the last 10 years included. And then you will have the same VIP groups that you have every single week. And then you have 2 extra calls with me every month so we can talk deeper about regenerative medicine and holistic healing hacks before they take them away from us. Because very soon here, just to give you an example, thymosin alpha-1, I was just talking to a friend who got some from me. Thymosin alpha-1 for a 10 milligram vial, which should last you a couple months, is like about $135, $140 through me, through research grade peptides for research purposes only, right? Of course, they'll say that it's only for animal studies and models, and that is true. However, we have hundreds of years of peptide research that are readily available. You could just go to ChatGPT and find that information. Lots of studies that came out in the 1950s from the Russians. Peptides are available there, super easy to purchase. But here in the United States, they want to make sure everything is hard to reach and very expensive and only available through your MD, marked up at multiple times the cost. So going back to my thymosin alpha-1 example, which is what I believe that we all could benefit from, to support our immune system and strengthen your thymus gland, which is your immune system warrior, which decreases as you age. And it's said to be about 80% of the size by the time you're about 50 years old, because it has a lot of work to do to defend you from poisons and pathogens and parasites and EMF interference, which we're going to talk about. But this specific peptide is known to empower your immune system and help you cell signal in a way that by the time you're 50, you only have about 20% of it left on average. And so no wonder why we're getting sick. No wonder why we're getting cancer. No wonder why everybody's exhausted, has some sort of autoimmune disease. And at least half the population has some degree of chronic disease, if not more, and is on at least one medication. 80% of the population, the first thing they do as a solution is to go talk to their doctor and get a prescription medication. But what if peptides could be the alternative to that? So on that page, dianekazer.com/peptides, you're going to find all different kinds of ways to get started with that. A free guide, a $17 guide, which is really, really helpful for people who are just getting started. It's kind of like my Peptides 101 for dummies. And then you also have the Peptide Power course. You can buy that for $297, or you can get it for free if you are in the Elite VIP membership, which I highly recommend getting into that. By a whole year. You get to hang out with me and my entire team industry clinicians. Lots of information here that you're never going to hear from your doctor, and we don't know how long we can keep saying it, because going back to thymosin alpha-1, when I was looking at the new compound pharmacy movement, and this is going to be the only way you can access peptides, if not through an MD, you can purchase thymosin alpha-1 for close to $500 for 2 months. Now, that is about 3 to 4 times the price, and typically they're less pure. And you're going to have to pay a doctor. You're going to have to go through all types of testing, and you have maybe at best a 10-minute session with your doctor. Granted, that might be the solution I have for everybody in the near future, because compound peptides is going to be what Bobby Kennedy is announcing, that it will be the access point, but it will come at a cost. So gone will soon come the days where you could purchase them through us at a 15% discount. Bobby Kennedy says it's illegal, but this is just for medication, or this is just for information and just, entertainment. So you guys do what you want with it. But anyway, thank you, Paula, for flashing the disclaimer. That is it for announcements for now. We actually had about 18 members who found out the root cause reason why they are sick. So hopefully you guys will consider becoming a patient to find out what your root cause is, and also get to town on addressing it while we have the ability to, before and if they take those away from us. All right, now let's bring on Paula. She's our Chi director. She's amazing. She's my sister from another planet. There she is.
Yes, I guess that is true. Another planet. I don't know which one it is, but
I don't either. I think
it must be one that's maybe a little bit better than this place right now in the moment.
Yeah, some kind of heaven.
Yes, exactly.
We're in heaven. All right. I know I'm in a good mood when I start to sing. Okay, we're gonna bring on two very special humans who we've been talking about in our VIP group, and people are like, "What in the heck is this cool thing with a crystal on top? What is this? It's like flashing." We both have one. When I went to go film for the TV show in Miami, which will be coming out soon. The third edit just came out for me to approve yesterday, so that's coming soon for Women in Power. And Paula was with me, and we were gifted these from Carmen. We're going to bring her on, and we're going to talk about what these are, because there's a lot of people who are totally confused and overwhelmed about EMF and what to do about it. Short of moving to Mexico, like I did, to get the hell away from 5G towers, what can you do in your environment? I don't know what to say about people living in the city. Maybe they'll have an opinion too, Carmen and Harold. So Paula, did you want to just read their bio before you bring them on?
Yeah, absolutely. And I've been, I'm very grateful to have been introduced to Carmen and Harold of My Healing Garden. And I've actually had a couple sessions with Carmen myself, as well as, we have these wonderful, what we're calling sucker punches, which that's what they call them. They'll go into this, as well as zappers. And we were initially introduced to Carmen and Harold through David Avocado Wolf. So we were like, we have to share out their information and, let everybody know in our ministry about these amazing tools and about them and what they're doing for the world. So Carmen and Harold are the founders of My Healing Garden, where they help people reconnect with their natural ability to heal and find balance in their lives. As an intuitive and energy healer, Carmen works with clients around the world through intuitive readings and energy sessions. She also handcrafts these orgonite devices, croft zappers, sucker punches, tools, and intuitive herbal remedies designed to support energetic protection and well-being. Her work helps people become more aware of how their environment, energy, and intuition can influence their health in everyday lives. And Harold is an electrical engineer who's worked with energy in many of its forms. He has a unique gift of understanding of the energy arrangements of problems and aberrations. So they are really the dynamic duo here. And
their mission. Their mission is to help people as this dynamic duo become more aware of their energy, intuition, because that is, if you're not tapped into your intuition, you are more programmed and more enslaved. Your intuition, your pineal gland is the most important thing that will help you pull yourself out of and decentralize the enslavement that they're putting us into by mandating the things that are really not good for us. So they're helping people become more aware of that, their environment, so that they can take a more active role in their well-being, healing themselves, becoming your own best doctor, as what I say, strengthening their energy and helping to heal the world. So yeah, anything else, Paula, before you bring them on?
I think that kind of covers the introduction. Let's bring them in.
Let's do it. And you guys are bringing on Paula because Paula is really, really solid in this topic. And she's also going to support in the VIP group as well. After this call. And we've got Carmen and Harold. Welcome to the show, you guys.
Hi, everybody.
Hi there.
Welcome.
We've been talking about doing this for a while now. I think we got these sucker punches last August,
yes.
I want to say. And people are always like, see these things. And then I've got this one too, which I put on my body. And so they're zappers. And I want you guys to talk about the technology. First and foremost, before we get into it, what are these things and how do they help people?
Right. So I'll get started and then Harold will fill in all the blanks.
Awesome.
So we have, it's 3 different kinds, but 2 of them, this one is the most famous. This is the Terminator Zapper. And then this little guy is an upgraded basic zapper. So now this is called the Little Hercules because he's small but mighty. And these ones basically just help you detox. They flood your immune system with negative ions, just fill you up so much that your body just naturally gets rid of parasites. Did I mention for informational purposes only? But yeah, helps get rid of parasites and bacteria, basically anything that's positively charged that doesn't belong in your body. These help get rid of it. And whoever lives in there that doesn't belong in your body cannot run away from electrical medicine, really. These little guys reach everywhere. So you just put it so that this touch your body somewhere. It doesn't matter. It has to touch skin. And then turn them on. And then you just let it go to work. And within 20 minutes, they start doing the stuff everywhere. And, you start with 2 hours and keep adding on until you basically don't want to feel any detox symptoms while you're using these. So if you're drinking extra water and doing what you need to do to make sure that you flush out what's dying, then you won't have detox symptoms. And we say that that's a good thing. Like, I don't want to have a healing crisis while I'm trying to detox. So
Yeah,
you
that's
just start
cursing.
slowly. Yeah.
Not
I
fun.
did that once. I did that right away.
Okay.
As soon as I started, I overdid it. Like
Well, the
24
more the better, right?
Yeah, almost killed myself.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
I
just
literally
silly.
I called Carol going, what is wrong with you? It was, and she's like, what did you do? And I'm like, well, you said to wear it around the clock. She's like, well, I didn't mean start off like that if you've never detoxed before.
Let's talk about that real quick, Carmen. I'm getting straight to the point because people who are watching this might just want to know, like, what is this? And then we'll get into some other questions. So just application purposes. And you guys, the link is on the bottom, DianeKazer.com/myhealinggarden. Let them know that Dr. Diane Kazer of the Chi Ministry referred you. What do you put? You put something down in that. What are they supposed to write, Paula?
Oh, just your name.
Dr. Diane?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'll know Dr. Diane Kazer, whatever, just I'll know. Chi.
Dr. Die so you don't die. I was like, what should we call me? My avatar years ago. And I'm like, I don't think Dr. Die works. That sounds kind of Kevorkian. Also, speaking of die, we do want some things to die in our body, but we don't want them to die too quickly, which is why what we focus on in the ministry and the whole purpose of cleanse, heal, ignite in that order. You can't heal your body until you've cleansed the things that are killing you and eating up your nutrients and causing you to have leaky gut, leaky brain. So we do have to do this in the proper order, because Carmen and Harold, you would be so surprised of what Paul and I see when we have people who are applying to become patients. We're like, tell us a little bit more about your cleansing history and or your parasite cleansing history. And they're like, I've never done one. Oh my God, what? You're 50 something years old and you've never done this is more common than we like to even admit. So if somebody were to buy one of these things, and we'll get into all the different packages and stuff later, and then Paula will get into some of the more intelligent things that I haven't been privy to. They turn this thing on, so it's blinking. And then where do they put it, and for how long, and how much throughout the day to get started? And then how much would they continue on to when they're a bit more advanced? And we are on a full moon, the day after the full moon day.
So now is a good time to
wear
get started.
Yeah.
So basically anywhere, like the palm of your hand is really, really hard skin. So this shouldn't zap you. And the sole of your foot is also really hard skin. So like when I'm doing the full 8 hours, I just put it in a sock at night, or I hold it in my hand and put a sock over my hand. So then that way in case it falls, it won't break. They're very sturdy devices. They really are. But if you hit it just right, the switch breaks and then we got to fix it. So basically, if you are going to start with this, like you get it out of the package, you want to start, and it will take a 9-volt battery, by the way.
Get rechargeable ones. You guys can get rechargeable ones, and then that way.
Exactly. We started on rechargeable ones because, man, you
use them all the day.
It lasts a long time, but now there's something in the air. No batteries last very long anymore. Especially, so whatever.
I want to just make a note about that really quickly. So, like, for example, because I have two of the zappers here, and I have the sucker punch, and to Carmen's point and to Dr. Diane's point, you'll see it's blinking right now, right? Which means that the battery is fully charged, and I have those. I notice when I go into different environments, because I bring this with me everywhere, and this is a custom quartz that's actually worked with my field and with my dog's field. Sometimes it will last a week for the battery. And if I go like traveling, or I go into a new environment that there's maybe some frenetic energy, it's lasting a day and a half. Like it has to work on overload. So just wanted to make that
point. Exactly right.
Yeah, we literally bought an 8-pack of rechargeable batteries. So then I always have batteries ready to go, because you just can't, you can't really tell anymore. Like the zappers the batteries used to last 3 weeks. And so you could almost do the full 8 hours a day
for 3 weeks.
And they don't do that anymore. So whatever it is out there in the universe that is just making everything, all of us work harder, literally. Like we have to work extra in our bodies in order to get the same results that maybe we would have done like 10 years ago.
Are we talking like if somebody has like the things that it's protecting us from? Because kind of like my analogy earlier with the immune system, right? Like it's kind of like, this is your thymus gland, but protecting the energy field, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, the more interference, the harder this thing has to work. So is it like EMF towers? Is it parasites that are destroying our destroying our harmony and our frequency? Like, what is it that it's protecting necessarily that helps people? And I mean, we'll get back to like the how to use it, but just to clarify that point, why would it only last about 10% of the time if it's in different environments?
This is a really deep question, really.
Oh, okay, great.
So let's back up. I'll try to keep it running fast here. But we've all heard the truism that everything is alive. Well, it's true. Everything has a spark of life in it, even our parasites, all of it.
Oh, boy,
Along with that comes intelligence.
Mm.
So there's a certain intelligence that these particles have. And when they work against us, so maybe I could have done this better if I'd have thought it through. But regardless, we're surrounded by life, and it has its intentions on you. And if the intention of the parasite is to keep you dumb and stupid,
so they can survive
and thrive, they're going to do it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the basic, what we tell people is, if you're not creating it, someone else is.
Yeah.
Wow.
And they may be smaller, they may be bigger, but it's coming from somewhere. It's counter intention on your life. And it's attacking you because it wants to keep you inept.
And it's attacking us from within, which is really interesting.
And without.
Yeah. But like, let's say parasite, I mean, there's, within and without, all kinds of parasites. But let's say the ones within us.
There's the ones you got to pull off of you, and there's the ones that are in you.
And there's ones that we don't even know anything about out there. But basically it makes it, and that was one of the things I found out. So when I didn't know anything about detox. I grew up in a very religious background in communist Romania. None of this stuff was anything we talked about. I was kind of the devil just because I could see and hear things. So that in itself was woo-woo. I mean, like that shit ain't real in Seventh-day Adventism Romania. Let's put it that way.
How dare you have an intuition, Carmen? How dare you think for yourself? That's blasphemy.
I know, I'm telling you. I got in trouble for telling people what Jesus said. So I mean,
oh my God, I love you.
So I had no clue until I met Harold. I just knew, even when I was skinnier, like, it's funny that I'm chubby and yet I am healthier than I was when I was like you guys. Well, maybe not as Dr. Diane. I don't think I've ever been like that skinny, but it's like, that's awesome. But yeah, I didn't know why I was getting sick for the longest time. I had to search. I wasn't actually really sick in Romania. The only time I would get sick is if I got close to people or touched people, because I found out later I was pulling problems out of them into me because I didn't know what else to do. And I didn't know how to get rid of, because again, we don't talk about that kind of stuff in Romania, or back then. I don't know what they do now.
Or in westernized medicine.
Right. Yeah, right. So I was like, in taking things from people, putting it in my body, they would feel better and I would feel worse. And it would take a while for my aura and all that stuff. Now I know kind of, what was going on, but it took me a few days to get over things. So I got to the point I didn't want to touch people. I didn't want to get close to people because I don't want to be sick. But other than that, we had like, most of my life, we didn't really have much electricity. We literally had like one light bulb. We still had an outhouse. I lived on top of a hill, like out of the city. So we really didn't have those things. The environment wasn't making me sick. And then we came to America, and the first thing they did, and we had to show like I don't know how much trouble I'm going to get in for vaccination cards. So we had to show off like all the stuff that we've had in Romania. And then they still full blown, whatever, how many shots they gave me to make them happy. And I was just turning into, like, I was going to be a teenager, like 12 and a half. So they just wreaked havoc with my hormones. And from then on, like I gained 30 pounds in a month. Like, how is that normal? Right after they put a whole bunch of shots in me.
You mean you
And
gained 30 pounds in a month?
I gained 30
And
pounds.
what shots are you talking about?
All kinds of little vaccines, you know, like the stuff that kids get, whatever it is that kids get
Oh, like
when they came
MMR,
to America.
shots.
Like they just did every shot they could think of and put it all in me so I could go to school.
I want to talk about that because we only have so much time, Carmen.
Yeah.
Because this is going to be a huge question because you just mentioned like the buzzword, and there's a lot of people talking about, and we still need to close the loop on how to use these things throughout the day.
Right.
So we could probably end that, you know, because I want to make sure people know what to do on that, and we could, you know, take everything over to the VIP group for strategy. But the number one question that people are asking, you know, after they got the shot, maybe not so much now because they think I didn't die, so therefore I'm okay. And I'm talking the COVID. Yeah. Harold, you and I could be like besties having some whiskey or
Good little doctor humor there, right?
Yeah. Having real good. Like, I mean, these are the real conversations that people need to be having. I got the COVID shot and I'm still curious about how to get this nanotech out of me. But I also believe, and Paula does too, because we talk about these all the time, is like it's a frequency too. And you know, these shots have been, you know, created and they've been fired into your body, the as below, so the as within, so without thing. We have this technology in us that we're drawing in because that makes us antennas to the 5G, 6G, whatever G they want, like network. And so will this help people to neutralize, or do you guys have information on that, neutralize some of the nanotech that has been injected in them?
So we found out because we talk, I especially, but Harold too, talk to people all over the world, and they're like, guess what? I found out that this little guy, and really it's always funny to me how more people talk about the little Hercules than the Terminators, even though they always say, oh no, I love the Terminator. But this little guy, I don't know, maybe because I put my magic in it, really has helped people. I know, right? Man, I'm sure I was, burned at a few stakes.
Paula and I too. Don't worry, we were burned to death.
It's like sisters from different mothers, right? But yeah, this little guy. So I've had more than one person tell me that they can't get rid. So what these will do, and I'm sure the Terminator and T-Rex will too, but what ends up happening, they disassemble these guys.
Wow.
So like people can feel stuff starting to like add on. And then most of the people can feel like a body part or wear on their body, and they literally just stick it on there. And they say within like 5 minutes, they can literally feel them shutting down and like disintegrating.
Moving out.
But I'm not promising that they get rid of them completely, but they sure, like, they don't work anymore. But then, you know, later on or whatever, they might assemble themselves again. And then as long as and it seems to always happen at night. I don't know what it is, maybe because we're moving, but people are usually telling me that they're noticing it a lot at night. So I have people sleeping with a couple of these next to them. So then they'll put one on, you know, wherever it's like hurting or not hurting, but wherever they feel them, and then hold one in their hand.
When you say them, are you talking about things moving, or like what does that mean? Like what?
So like the nanotech,
we put it too.
Right? I know, and I suck at nouns. So the nanotech, it's yeah. So what these clients, customers, people I know have been telling me is that the nanotech will assemble, and they can feel the nanotech assemble, and they can hear some like weird ass frequency, some of these people. And then they put this on where they're noticing something weird going on in their body, where they're noticing the nanotech.
Some extra mass.
Yeah, the nanotech doing the thing, whatever it is that they do, because thank God, like I'm keeping that shit away. So then they'll put one zapper where the problem is or where they're noticing it, and then hold on to another zapper. And that all of a sudden they say that they can literally feel them powering down, and they'll be like, you know, like, I don't know. I suck at making noises, but that kind of when something is shutting down.
Yeah.
Like, think
I don't think
Terminator or whatever.
I don't think everyone or anyone will ever know if all of the nanotech is gone.
Oh
but
yeah.
like, what
I
there's,
don't.
you know, there's
Yeah.
no studies.
it-
There's never going to be, you know. But
It's
I
Go ahead, Paula.
figured nowadays it's inside, but at
Mhm.
least we can like get them to shut off and disassemble so they won't be working for a while. And
Mhm.
then there's a way to keep doing that, but you just have to like be aware that
Well,
it's happening.
Detoxing will get rid of
Yeah,
it.
and detoxing will get rid of a bunch of it. And I have like a food mat. It's technology, it's time reverse technology. Totally, yeah. And that also goes after some of that stuff, and they'll go after chemical toxins, mRNA infection.
What's a food mat?
Yeah, it's like that.
Maybe we
Did
lost.
we lose you guys?
oh no, you're still here. You're good.
When
Yeah.
you say food mat, Carmen, is that one of your products?
So it's not technically my product. I'm helping the scientists. We actually bought a food. It's actually a system. It's a detox system. It's a
Let's stay
Vitalize.
focused on your products though right now, because we only have so much time. So let's
Right.
make sure we stay
So
focused on what we. Yeah, go ahead, Harold.
Right. So back in, I don't know, 2008 or somewhere around in there, I found out about Morgellons.
Mm.
And
Oh,
I saw some of the photos of the, microscopic, and they're little electronic devices that grow in your body.
yeah.
And I
Mhm.
kind of freaked out. I called Don Croft and we talked about it. And I says, what do you do about that? I says, you got this machine growing in your body.
Yeah.
And he says, oh, Zapper takes care of it.
Yeah.
And that was the extent of the conversation. I says, just like that? And he says, yeah, just like that. Just use the Zapper. He said, you don't have to worry about them.
But you do have to keep using it. So it's not like a one time.
Because you will get invaded.
Yeah.
And it starts up again. So you just wash them out again. It's just like keeping it clean.
Yeah.
And that's why I just brought this up here too. So we have this Terminator Croft Zapper right here, and that's one of the ones that Carmen and Harold have been showing here as well. And to your point, to both of your point, is that this is something where it's in our environment. Is it coming from the chemtrails? Is it coming from our food supply, water supply, etc.? Which is why it's a really great tool to have and to use ongoing, just like what Dr. Diane talks about with the always be cleansing, like always using a binder, for example,
Yes,
right?
yes, and yes.
This is this kind of tool that we can utilize for that. And I'll just give an example that, last night I actually kind of was feeling a little bit off after I ate, and I woke up in the middle of the night and I wasn't feeling well. And so I had this guy and I put this on me, and within like 10 minutes, I did start feeling a little bit better. And I left it on for about 30 minutes. I fell asleep a little bit, came back, and I was feeling better. And I've muscle tested it with myself as well with someone that I work with that has a really high accuracy rate. And I've gotten multiple times that these are helping to kill parasites and I've had die-off effects, etc. from that. Thankfully, not much, because I'm always detoxing, but I have what I know that it's working. And then the little guy right here too for travel.
Yeah. And if you are, this is the other thing, if you're not doing parasite cleansing, but you're either sticking clove up your butt, like I talk about my social media posts, and I obviously I say this very scientifically, I'm just saying it to be cheeky, but pun intended also. But if you're using these zappers, like Paula said, ABC, you're definitely going to need binders, because when you blow up parasites, then all of the waste that lives inside of them is now like a piñata been opened up inside your body. So that's why a binder daily is a good idea. And we have several of them on DianeKazer.com/binders, as well as which ones to take depending on, what toxins that you may or may not know that you have in your body, or at least your environment. Biorid Chem or Biotox Binder are great ones. Biotox Binder especially is going to be a good one if you are doing parasite cleanses, especially around the full moon. So I want to make sure people care about how this is going to help them, right? Like we have to talk about what kinds of examples of conditions or symptoms have you seen people alleviate when they start to use these zappers?
Right. So it's basically it kind of runs the gamut. So once you start detoxing and you get like the first die off, let's say, so you go through the whole protocol and then you keep using it, because like I used mine for 8 years, 5 days a week when I was teaching, because I didn't want to be sick. But once you do that, pretty much like almost anything. So eczema, I even had people contact me just with the little zapper before it was this upgraded one. And they had, I have one that I just thought of. She had, her daughter was getting seizures more than one a day. And the only reason I knew anything about it is because I was teaching her older daughter, and her older daughter wasn't coming to school because mom is in the hospital and has to take everybody to the hospital because, you know, single mom. So I just like, it came, you know, download, hey, offer her a zapper. So I gave her a zapper. I said, put it in her sock at night just for like 2 hours, you know, I mean, little kid, and just see every night, just see how she does. Within 3 weeks, that little girl, instead of having, I don't know how many seizures a day, she was having like 1 a week.
Wow.
And that was within 3 weeks. So mind blown. And that was just all from the little, now it's upgraded, so it's even better, zapper. And so it ended up like, that was the hugest, and I don't know, it just came to say, so I did. But pretty much like cuts, scrapes, bruises, bites, I literally, we just put it on the problem or right next to the problem. If I'm having eye problems, I'll put it like next to it, because, you know, I mean, you could put it on your eye, it doesn't.
I do
but
that.
it just all kinds. If there's something that happened, stick a zapper on it or next to it.
What about
And-
like autoimmune diseases or, you know, chronic conditions like that? I'm, you know, the ones that people feel like they're enslaved to. And then of course, prednisone or any other immunosuppressants are doing no favors to help because it's just shutting up the symptoms.
Right?
That's correct.
So pretty much, I mean, we've seen like, so I stopped after using the zapper and doing like the original protocol. And I started with this, but it was used to be black. I still have my very first one, but it's in bed with me. It's in bed with me. But so just saying that, I used to be on 3 medications and I couldn't breathe. So this was me, skinny Carmen, looking all hot on the outside, but on the inside, I was a hot mess pretty much. And so there I was like 30, I don't know, whatever, 33, 34.
Yeah,
I don't even remember.
Yeah.
I had allergies. I was allergic to everything. I couldn't breathe. I had to be on 3 medications. And if I didn't take it 5 minutes, like within 5 minutes of the 12 hours, I was like having breathing problems. So I went from that into taking myself off of all my medications within 3 months of starting on that zapper. So 3 months on the Terminator, I'm no longer on any medication.
Wow.
Like
That's awesome.
literally.
Yeah. Talk about your skin.
Oh yeah, and my skin. So I was a little crocodile. Sometimes I still am because I don't drink enough water. But I literally had like freaking sand bumps all over my body. Like Harold said, I look really good on the outside, but when he touched me, I was a Scorpio, really. I mean, I really am a Scorpio, but I really was very bumpy and kind of not fun. So within not even probably 3 months, like Harold was the first one who noticed that my skin got better. Like, and I didn't have that stuff anymore.
So now we're talking like beauty reasons too, because I mean, that's a big thing, like collagen. People are selfish about that. And I know we have a lot more to cover. So we have to get like, I have a lot of questions. I know Paula does too. We got to talk about these big ones. I know I wish we could talk to you for like 3 hours, but we got to talk about chemtrails because one of the things that, I mean, these are things people are all talking about, but what do we do about them is the question. So we've covered some things and you guys can follow us in the VIP group and then we'll have a conversation after dianekazer.com/VIP. You can join for your first week for $1 and then stick around with us because this is where we have the real conversations that we can't talk about so much publicly. But people are like, what do we do about cancer? Chemo radiation. That's our answer. Echo chamber. What do we do about chemtrails? I don't know. Complain about it. Share it with your friends. Who knows? Can you talk more? Like, so we got to talk about the chemtrails. Let's talk about these Organite cloud busters because Organite is where it's at. Many of my friends who started making Organite had their websites taken down in the United States or had to move to other countries to even talk about it because guess why? They don't want us to deactivate these things that are making you sick. So let's talk about these and what do they do?
Yeah, so the cloud busters are really chem busters. And this is like amped up version of the mini one.
Beautiful.
It's a one-off. And anyway, so the cloud busters, basically, they don't really go after anything natural. They work to balance nature. So especially now that we use a frequency generator, we actually have a much better chance. We basically amp these guys up on a frequency generator, and we can get the sky from 30 chemtrails above my house to, if I can find the right frequency, like we can clear the crystals. There's frequency for that, and then get blue sky within an hour.
Wow.
And
so is it easy to place outdoors? Is it something that you just stick in the ground, or do you have to dig a hole, or?
Nope, you literally just put it on the earth. If you wanted to put it in, it'd be okay. But I'll put it on concrete like that usually, because I don't like to mess them up. Or like, just find some good little, bushes or whatever. Just put them on something so they can actually see the sky. They work better. Some people who live in apartments, they'll keep it in an apartment, and depending on what their roof situation is, you can get through that. But if not, it's just a huge ass piece of organite, and that's going to make that, and it is. I know some people that just like to keep the little guys inside, and then they'll get a big one for the outside because it's in a bucket. so they're not so emotionally attached. But literally, like, you end up like naming yours, because it's literally like there's big crystals inside and there's one big crystal in the middle.
They're alive.
And they really, everything is alive. So some people are like, man, it told me its name. And then they're like, let's go. And so they're like, okay, we need to like beat these guys today. And literally, I mean, all you do, we just, do our very best to get rid of at least, as many of the chemtrails, just get them to be gone.
So let's say we've got somebody, because I'm trying to get people application strategies as well, like what to buy, how much do they need? So how many of those chembusters do they actually need? Like, is it a square footage thing, or
you only need one. You don't really need, I mean, that one big size, or even a little size, but the little size, is just going to have less area. But I can get mine with the frequency generator. I've literally left it on and drove 2 hours away to like meet my sister, and I still had bluer sky.
Wow.
So it depends on how amped up. And as I said, like, I'm like, okay, I'm leaving you in charge. Like I talk to everybody. And then everybody really should get tower busters. So they have to be, in order for them to work, unless you want to buy it more. Like if they're smaller than 3 ounces, you've got to buy more, basically. So just be careful what you buy, because, if you don't buy mine. But these little guys, you put them all around. They don't have to look pretty. Normally, I don't sand the bottom. But for you guys, I sanded the bottom. Anyway, but these ones, you just literally hide them, like one in each corner of your property. You can bury them. That's what we did. So that way nobody really sees them. And
wait, but I have a question. Do you need those if you have the big one?
You should. So these ones, like if I had 10 of these together, they will help the sky also. But these ones are really stuff for in the house or around your property. So basically you're building a shield. You build like a protective shield of like goodness, basically, because that's what organite does. It like helps bring chi. It brings more life. It brings more love. People who have problem with life will have problems with organite.
Harold,
and I have some neighbor things. I have some
Harold,
neighbor.
we got to get your opinion on this, because you're the left brain of the engineer of this. So and we've talked about organite on our show before, but it's been a while. So can you explain like a 2-minute 101? Oh, look how pretty this is. Thank you, Carmen. Can you explain like a 101 of why organite and why should people care, and what truly is it helping them do as far as the technology and how it works, and why do they not want us to know about organite and what you guys are making?
Organite generates frequency energy that moves through, all our 3D construct. But I had something really good I was going to say here.
We do that a lot over here.
What was your question again? I'm supposed
What
to give
is
you.
organite?
What is organite? Golly, I hate it when that happens. Okay, those little guys, whoever had it, just says, "Okay, we already communicated. We're gone."
We were talking about the benefits of it, and I'll just give an example of something, because Carmen and Harold were really kind and sent Diane and I some samples of these, and so I put those organite, those little busters, in the corners in my home, and then also outside on my deck, and I put them in my plants as well, so to protect that entire the entire area. I haven't gotten the chemtrail busters yet, but I want to get at least the
I
small
was just gonna
ones.
say me too.
Okay, I got it.
We-
Thank you,
We need
Paula.
those. And
You're welcome.
here's the other thing too, Harold, because my question, when I think about what you guys are making here, and everybody talking about making documentaries about chemtrails, everybody's talking about the problem, but we literally have not gotten anywhere with the solution. So, I mean, how many people will it take? What percentage of the population will need to have these to put an end to chemtrails? I mean, can we do this as a team, as like Team America,
Yes.
Team World?
So
We should.
if we could get, so in the UK, there's already a team. They're called the C team. I'm an honorary member. But I mean, the UK is way smaller than America. So we need help. So people actually, most of the people would rather buy crap because it's cheaper. They have no
Crap
clue
Organite.
how expensive
You're talking
it is.
about Crap Organite. Just want to clarify.
Yeah, Crap
like
Organite.
you get on
Etsy,
like
Etsy or whatever. They'll make the picture sound like it's all like this big thing, and you get home this tiny little thing. That's why I tried to put like the actual, what does it look like in my hand, or what does it look like when we're holding it, or against something, so people know what they're buying. And if they don't have a whole bunch of metal shavings, so the more metal shavings, the better. Different kinds and sizes, that's fine. Don and Carol mostly use aluminum because that's what we have the most access, and that works. It totally works with aluminum. I don't care what people say, that's what it works. You're not eating the aluminum, And once these cure, they're totally fine and inert, and they do their job. But like I don't know, because I hide them everywhere. So I have probably 10 somewhere close.
I think maybe their Wi-Fi cut. Can you?
Oh, they got frozen. I thought maybe it was me. But Paula, why don't you talk about some things too while they're unfreezing?
Yeah.
Some of the things that you've learned from them that are really helpful and applicable that people can.
Kind of what we were going back to earlier, which is that these are, we'll call them elements, right, that are in our environment that are kind of attacking us, like per the actual title of the episode today. We have the chemtrails, unfortunately, that they're spraying on us every day. They're putting different things in the food. Harold and Carmen spoke about the nanotech and graphene oxide and all of that, and the morgellons, which is a type of parasite, by the way, if this is the first time that you've heard that. And these are prevalent, unfortunately, today in our society. And so utilizing the tools like the zapper, like the little mini zapper here, or the larger green one, is going to be the constant, consistent detoxing of those as we're inundated with them. You know that you have a tool that can combat that, right? Just like Dr. Diane talking about utilizing binders, doing parasite cleanses, etc. These are working on the energetic level. A lot of what we talk about here at Chi is working on the physicality. And this is another layer. And as we shift our energetics, we benefit, and that reflects into the physicality, right? And so then we see less physical symptoms, like, for example, less, digestive ailments, whatever it is.
Headaches. And the biggest one is headaches, migraine, anything in the brain, you guys. These systems, this technology, aluminum and mercury, and you guys, we'll join them again in the VIP group after this. So DianeKazer.com/VIP. And we'll talk more about how to use these, how often to use them, how to titrate. We call the word titrate is starting slow and then working your way up. And then doing that alongside like parasite protocols. Like we have one called Parasite Full Moon Challenge. And Paul, if you could put the link below on that. If you guys are part of the Elite VIP, which I highly recommend, you get everything. Our whole library of resources that I've created and curated for the last 15 years is in that, and it's included in the membership. So you just get everything. You don't have to nickel and dime anything. But what we've been talking about for a long time, specifically with people who have like autoimmune disease, is aluminum and mercury love the brain. and especially aluminum. So the aluminum they're talking about with these chem busters, I'll let them talk about it in the VIP group because it's different. This aluminum that's being sprayed in the air is the number one thing that when you see those little rainbow spots in the sky and you're like, oh, look, a rainbow. It's not. It looks like oil from the ground when you have like gas that's leaking from your car. It's the same thing. It's chemicals. It's petroleum, right? It's chemicals. Petroleum has a lot of heavy metals in it. These metals love to live in the brain. When we have Parkinson's and MS patients and anybody who has mood dysregulation, insomnia, brain fog, lots and lots and lots and lots of brain fog, as Carmen mentioned, weight gain, headaches, migraines. Most people who have migraines, they'll go get Botox injections. And Botox is actually extremely toxic. So what is the actual answer? Instead of using Botox to use the most toxic substance known to man to numb out the symptoms and kill the nerves that actually signal there's pain in here, why don't we get rid of the thing that's causing you the pain, which is to get rid of the interference? Because, you know, of course, maybe you might not be using AirPods. Maybe you're not putting, you know, sleeping with your phone next to your head and it's on airplane mode. Maybe you're not even doing any of that, but you're somebody who's just living in a toxic environment filled with chemtrails. This is going to be one of the answers because these toxins love the brain. So any of those things I mentioned are going to be greatly helped. Of course, information, education purposes only, but so I'd say that because we're not making any claims, but this is what people are complaining about. And they think they need to go take a medication just to numb it out. Let's get rid of the blocking factor. Let's address the arsonist. And that's what we're doing here. So we got you guys back, but we got to start wrapping up.
Yeah, that's
Okay, I got your little 10-second thing on Organite.
Okay,
you know
cool.
how your hair gets when it gets all snarly and you can't run a comb through it, and
Static.
it's horrible. You know, well, Organite is hair conditioner for energy.
Oh,
I love that. Love that.
It's a very good analogy because it collates the energy that's conflicting with you, and it collates you to where it just moves on through. Just like you can now just pull that comb through your hair and it's no problem, right? When you're in the shower. But before
and
it's all
and so that's happening in our aura, right, Harold?
Mhm.
Basically, it's like
Oh,
kind of
yeah, the last thing we had to talk about is the energy thing, because Paula, that's what you mentioned before we started talking about what they were going to say about energy, right? Paula, what was the topic that I said, let's talk about that before the last part?
Oh, about we were having technical difficulties, which happens here sometimes and everywhere. And we were a little bit late, and there was a microphone issue, etc. And Harold, you were mentioning that, you know, utilizing these products and so that they harmonize our energy fields, and so we have less issues with the technology. Could you speak to that? Like, what's happening when we interact with the technology, depending on where our frequency's at?
right. We're spiritual beings and we're creating our future from the present time. And as we move out, we conflict with whatever's been pushing us against us and holding us in stasis. And nobody likes to be held in stasis, but we buy the thing and say, well, I just want to stay like I am, you know, give me a pill to make me feel better like I was before this happened. But that was a wake-up call. You should have paid attention. You could have progressed through that and come up to a different level, which is what we're all after. But with the entrainment that we go through with our physical environment, we buy the lower frequency and we stay in there. But as you move up to a higher frequency, what's left behind will conflict with you. And so what I was noticing was that Dr. Diane, there was Dr. Di, sorry.
Sorry.
Was that she kept having problems with her voice coming out over the electronic stuff. And I says, we just need to raise our vibration a little bit so that now collates and is smooth energy. And within 3 minutes, she came on with the voice after we said that.
Yes,
it was,
that's true.
Yeah.
We
And
set our
so-
intention, right? And I
Yeah.
think that's, at least with what my experience is, that when you work in the energetics and you remove the things like what Dr. Diane was talking about, like with the parasites, with the heavy metals and all of that, those things fall away. And those are layers that we don't need. And then we shift, and then you can see the changes. That's really very much like working on the inside so that the outside is affected, you know. And so I like to work with that way and within those elements, and I've seen from firsthand experience the benefits. And I think that's kind of what you're speaking to, right, Harold? And that's
Right.
why these tools can be utilized to help maybe quicken that process.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
So-
if we can figure it out in an energetic field first, like, so work on a frequency and spiritually first, we can, like, we don't even have to
It's-
physically get sick.
It's
Like,
it's senior to everything
Yeah.
physical.
all
Yeah.
the spiritual work that we do, if we could just fix our problems when they first show up, because we all get the little, oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that, or, oh, well, wow, why is that hurting? If I notice something is hurting me physically and I address it right away, like I just sit there, meditate, turn on my sucker punch. Okay, let's go to work, see what the hell is going on over here. And, you know, why is my knee bothering me? Because I was just walking. If I can sort that out, within like 10 minutes, my knee stops hurting.
Mhm.
And that's
Yeah,
one
that's
of the
the other
way, like,
thing.
we don't, yeah.
There's
It's
so many
deal
people
with
who
it.
are struggling with this body pain stuff, and
Yeah.
you know, old and I call them ancient injuries from like hips
Yeah.
to knees, and people
It
are like,
really
"Oh, I'm gonna
does.
go get a cortisone injection." I'm like, "Stop! Please stop!
Yeah.
Stop! Stop!
Yeah.
With the cortisone injection." It just like I cannot with make it make sense medicine. They're literally killing you with the
Yeah.
things that they're doing. They're killing your body's ability to communicate. Whereas what we're doing here is restoring, and that's what peptides do, is restoring cellular communication. So your body could actually talk, and you can have the intuition to hear it, and then the information and the wisdom and the knowledge that we share here in the VIP group with our patients to apply it. I mean, we're moving into this like two camps thing. It's either do you want to numb out your symptoms and not even hear them anymore, because I get it, you're in so much pain, you're desperate, you want to do something, but you probably haven't tried this. So maybe take this on like an old injury, like you were talking about, Carmen, your knee injury. I mean, are you hearing this often where people have old injuries and they're applying the zappers to their knees or their hips and they're not feeling it as much anymore? Is that kind of what you're saying?
Not feeling as much. And also, like, they'll have energy healing sessions with me or whatever, you know, my biofeedback or something. And all of a sudden, because we address some of those problems, like that shit came from somewhere, you know, and if I didn't do it to myself, I must have done it some other time. It's like a memory. It's like remembering. And so it's amazing how quickly, once we kind of twig on what it is, then it's much easier to get rid of it. And then, you know, and some people are like, oh my God, I can't believe it. Now I'm afraid. Like, I'm afraid to move because it feels so good. It's like, well, no, I mean, it's like the whole point is you just deal with it. And when we get to more stuff, so you handle this layer, it's like an onion. You handle the layer that you've got going on right now. And then you're going to get to another layer, because we're constantly peeling. Like, we're not ever going to be perfect. We're constantly working on it.
Our fascia is the memory, and it's like right there where you're applying these is right in the fascia. You guys, I got to cut, but I want to let Paula wrap here. I know there's so many things that we didn't get a chance to talk about today because this is a far-reaching conversation. I definitely want in the VIP group to talk more about the parasites around the full moon and how much to be using these things in combination with the herbs. And also definitely don't you guys forget, in our full moon parasite cleanse, there is a peptide protocol in there, because you've got to restore the immune system that has been working so hard for you to try to fend off and defend from a lot of these parasitic either entities in the energy realm or literal biological bodies of parasites that are living in your body. That if you follow me on social media, you'll see all kinds of examples of that. Nobody's immune to it if you pulse with a parasite. So Paula, why don't you go ahead and wrap, and then we'll head over to the VIP group.
Okay.
You were like,
anything we forgot to cover, Paula? Because I know we've been doing that. We want to do this for a while.
A couple things is I have a friend that actually had borrowed this from me, and he was having severe pain in his foot. And so he took this for like a week or so, and he's extremely skeptical. He is not someone that is familiar with this type of energy work or anything at all. Very conventionally minded. And he was shocked. He's like, my foot feels better. Like I have had this issue, this arthritic issue for years and years and years. And so he ended up ordering one, and like he became a believer, and that's just one testimonial. But Diane speaks about this a lot. And Carmen mentioned about the layers, is that when we have some sort of symptom that shows up, it's not like it just showed up yesterday, right? Or like cancer just showed up yesterday. This is coming on for years and years and years and years. And when it gets a lot of times in the physicality, it already started in the energetics a long time ago. So that's why we're like reverse engineering when we use these energetic tools. And that's what we talk a lot about here at Chi, is like creating that entire, holistic wellness environment and looking at all the factors in our environment, right? Not just the physical. So I just wanted to add that in. And then I'll just screen share this again really quickly. Your website right here. This is the shop page. And if
they mention you guys,
yes,
you get a special gift, but they have to mention Dr. Diane, because if they don't, I don't know.
So go to dianekazer.com/myhealinggarden. In the checkout in the box, just say Dr. Diane Kazer sent you. And Carmen made these really cute. Let me see if I can pull. I showed one earlier. She made these special for.
Pretty. I don't even have one.
No, you don't. I'll make you one.
Oh, thanks, Carmen. No, so I think last thing, because we do have to wrap because we're over an hour now. What are the best like few things for people to purchase? Because I'm wearing my Terminator right now. I've got the Sucker Punch in front of me. I do not have a Chem Tower Buster, the Organite Cloud Buster. I don't have one. Paul and I both want one. But what are the what is the best thing for people to purchase to get started?
So depending on your budget, I would say either the little Hercules, because right now he's only $65, and like I would get basic Tower Busters, the $13 each, or 10 for 110, because that'll take care of a bunch of your space,
and it sets your environment. Yeah, and
it really sets your environment. Like you want to have, so these two, if your budget is better, then get the Terminator. But it just like but these basic things will totally help. So you don't.
What about the Sucker Punch?
Depends. So like this will do spiritual stuff. I mean, I love my Sucker Punch. We don't go anywhere without Sucker Punches, and they're all different. And we make them like I intuit the crystal that wants to go and work with you. I mean, because we're talking about consciousness right here. So it's not like blah, 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 whatever
works. You're such a witch. Gosh, jeez.
I know, I'm telling you. Yeah. And this morning I was messing with CDS. So then I overdid CDS.
No.
So then we all look poofy because like you open up the thing and you're like, whoo, CDS.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're all like, oh my God, detox 101 right here. So you got us at our best, like totally detox.
So you're saying maybe get the Sucker Punch, or like
I would say depending on if it was me and I had the money, I would get all these 4 things. Yeah, between these 4 things,
okay,
you would.
And then the next one be the Cloud Buster, maybe.
Yeah, I started with zappers and then learned about Organite. Yeah. So. And then picked up the Sucker Punch, but follow your intuition, follow your path. But the most important, Dr. Diane, you've said this, the most important thing you can do to start right now is detox.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Get the crap out.
Yep.
Kill the parasites, get them out, get their products out. Yeah. And you will start feeling better. You will have an amazing something big will happen for you.
Totally, when they're not in charge anymore.
Yeah, I mean, you're a totally different person. It's like the original mind control, especially toxic hypnosis.
It's
like
really
the original mind control.
Oh, they really do that.
And it's been with us for so long, so many generations. It's in the DNA that we accept this.
Yeah.
And it's like, create a new reality, start new.
Yeah.
Get rid of the old, decide what you want, and move forward.
Yeah.
But
thank you, Harold.
Until you get rid of the parasites and the toxins, you're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
You're just going to keep going on the same track over and over and over again, and it'll be a different layer. It'll look a little different, and it keeps you in a game and keeps you distracted from what you need to be doing.
And then
kill the
cancer. I don't know how
out.
Cancer. It must be just genetic.
Feed us some more sugar. We really like this.
I like
and glyphosate.
I know. Yeah, trust me. Yeah, but yeah, get rid of those bastards. I mean, parasites.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly,
That's
exactly.
that's what Don Croft called them. He called them little rat bastards.
They are. They're suckers.
They are.
The opposite of the sucker punch.
They just want you dead, and they're just mirroring what they're told to do.
No, they don't want you dead. They want you just alive enough so they can make you feel like the Walking Dead.
That's what I said, dead.
Yeah, exactly.
You're dead to
Walking
everything.
Dead.
You're the Walking Dead. You're
dead to
immune.
yourself.
You can't see anything higher of a higher vibration. People talk to you about vibration. You think that's just bullshit, whatever. That's just something else.
Clean some parasites and you'll see it.
So
Totally,
you're just Walking Dead. You really are.
And you know what? One more thing that and then Paul, I know we got to wrap. There is inside of the parasite course, I do talk about a lot of people start trying parasite cleansing and they're like, I got to stop. I felt like shit. I couldn't keep going. Well, we've been talking a lot about herxing today and going too fast, not having the right tools, maybe not having binders, or maybe not reigniting your immune system again. So that's why I put the peptide protocol inside of the course, because KPV is good for people who seem to react to everything. LL37 breaks down the biofilm that antibiotics can never touch, and even some herbs. And then we also have things like thymosin alpha-1 that reignites the immune system. So those are all things that are the extra bonus in that program that I didn't even charge extra for. And you guys can get included in your elite VIP membership, which we again start on Tuesday, April, whatever that is.
April 7th.
7th. Yeah. Thank you, Paula. Okay. We're going to wrap today. You guys, we're going to go take it to the after party at our VIP group. So that's only $1 if you join for your first week. It's dianekazer.com/VIP. I know you guys are going to get blasted, not EMF blasted, but consciously blasted with a ton of really good questions. So I know you guys are going to do well in there. Paula, any final words before we wrap today?
I'm excited for us to launch the Elite VIP Tribe starting April 7th. Today, April 1st, is the last day to get in for our introductory gift price.
Oh, yeah, save $100. Save $100.
Yeah.
Do it, you guys. It's our last day.
And you're going to have 6 calls a month. 2 of those calls are going to be hosted with Dr. Diane. The other 4 hosted by our Chi clinical team. So 6 calls a month with us, and you're going to get access to all 5 courses, like Full Moon Parasite Cleanse that Dr. Diane was mentioning earlier, as long as you're a member. Plus, there is a plethora of other benefits. You'll actually have access to book appointments directly as an Elite VIP Tribe member with Dr. Diane Kazer.
Haven't done this in years.
And by a regulator. Yeah, and that's the first time that we're doing that. So join us for the Elite VIP Tribe. Get in today at this introductory price. So we'll see everyone, dianekazer.com/VIP. And we're going to roll into there now, actually, with Carmen and Harold.
Yeah, you guys, $100 off a month. So that's $1,200 savings if you were to get your VIP Elite today, after which it's going to be $297 a month, but you get a library of resources that's less than the cost of one naturopathic visit for 30 minutes. So get in there. You have access for the whole year, and that's the place you'll find me. All right, you guys, thanks again for being here. I really appreciate you, Carmen and Harold, and all the beautiful gifts and all of these protectors. And I really enjoyed this conversation, and I'm sure there's going to be more because you guys are just awesome humans. I like how real you are. Fake sucks. We don't like fake around here.
Yeah, for sure.
Nothing fake. Nothing fake. Thanks, Paula, for helping me co-host. See you guys next week. Everybody out in the VIP group. Bye for now.
Bye.